when Issa went through her whole phase.
Even if it's whack, you can still get some head. Go for it, go for it, go. Ho for it, ho for it, ho.
She was fucking any and everybody. I've definitely been the beneficiary of a girl going through her whole phase and she just fucking anybody. Salute. I've been on the receiving end of so many sad pussies. And guess what? I'm going to keep taking whole phase sad pussy. I often think about how Insecure is the greatest piece of black media to ever exist. Like it doesn't get like it had everything. It had everything. Besides the fact that it's one of the few shows in black history to not depict black people struggling, but just to see black people just living life and having fun and going through relationships and loving and stuff like that. Besides that, because that is a big part of why it's such a great show. Like during the 2010s where we couldn't escape trauma porn, especially when it came to black media, there was this beacon of light, this beacon of hope, which was Insecure. And it just existed to subdue the black mind. and it subdued you by just giving you the best Twitter timeline talking points of all time. Like every season of the show, there's something. Every episode, there's something. And the long running arc of Issa and Lawrence, what? They was together early on. He was broke. She cheated. He left. He got up. They got back together, but he had a baby and she had to deal with that. It don't get like that is everything you want from a Twitter timeline talking point. If somebody was to tweet that right now, if Insecure never existed and somebody was to tweet that story right now, we would be like, that doesn't exist. And every podcast would cover it, from Joe Budden to Rory and Maul to Bringing Idiots. Everybody would talk about it because it's that fucking good of a story. Like it doesn't, it's just, when you just talk about black TV and timeline talking points, it doesn't get much better than that. You talk about like Daniel being like this epitome of what black women want on the timeline, a fit, dark-skinned, masculine man who's also sensitive, but he's an artist, but also he a gangbanger or he got gangbanger friends. Like that, he touched everything that black women want. Everything. And going against like Lawrence, who was like this tech bro weird guy, but he was digging down, like all everything. It was or like the season when SZA went through SZA. Come on, man. That's just, but that was the beauty of Insecure. Like it just kept giving you stuff to talk about. It just kept it never stopped. It never stopped. Even towards the end of the show, when they became adults and we talk about, Lawrence having the baby, him and his relationship with Condolence. That's not her name. It's Condola. But I fucking read the timeline so much that I called her Condolence. That's what they call her on the timeline. Even him and his relationship with Condolence, right? Like that shit. Like it's a treasure trove of just who's right, who's wrong. Black men versus black women. Pick a side. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's why politics season for some people, it's so interesting to see them react to it or like try to translate that same energy to like politics. Because all year you're discussing whether or not Cardi B should get back with Offset. That's what you're talking about all year for 4 years. But then for 6 months, every 4 years, you just become this titan of political ideas. It's the best shit ever. Last week, you were talking about Jada Kingdom. This week, you're telling me who J.D. Vance is. That's amazing. It doesn't get better than that. Like, that's just like, oh my God. I love niggas. Insecure is the best TV. Insecure is the best black television show of all time. It doesn't get better than that.
Well, hello, potty mouth.